everybody, welcome to another installment in my grown-up women series. This one is how I put on highlighter, and I'm going to walk you through how I put on highlighter, show you the brushes I use. I have a few that I rotate through, and walk you through my current favorite highlighters. I am wearing all of my makeup except for highlighter and blush, and we'll get into why in just a moment. Now, I know I hear from a lot of more mature women, and this video series is of course geared towards women over a certain age, say 35 and up, but really I feel like this is more like classic, a slightly more conservative makeup application. So even if you're 15 years old, if that's how you prefer to wear your makeup, then this is exactly the video series you should be watching. There are certain things that as we age and we get drier skin and more wrinkly skin, those factors play in a little bit that won't affect a younger skin, but I still think that these techniques in general that I've picked up over the years as a non-trained makeup artist — I am not a makeup artist and I'm not trained, I'm just an everyday person who watches a lot of YouTube videos and plays with makeup maybe way more than a normal person does. I've picked these things up and I want to share them with you. I am only showing you the highlighters that I use, and I only use powder highlighters. Now, why powder highlighters for the grown-up women when cream highlighters might actually be better for us? Because grown-up women don't have the time to mess with cream highlighters. At least I don't. I feel like you have to be very precious with how you apply a cream-based highlighter or a liquid highlighter. You have to make sure that you do it in the right order, or it messes up your makeup. If it gets sweaty, it tends to run on me. It can get streaky. There's just so many variables, and it takes a little bit longer to do it. So I just reach for powder. So that is why. If you are a cream or a liquid highlighter user and you love it above all else, I am so happy for you that you have found that in your life. I'm more into the no fuss kind of application. So that is why I reach for powders. As far as where to put highlighter. So I'll show you. My all-time favorite highlighter brush is this one from Wayne Goss. He's a YouTuber, and this is the O2 brush. Notice how it comes to a little point here. It's tapered. It's so soft. Anyway, where you apply highlighter is the high points of your face to bring things forward. So I always put it, and I start about directly under my pupil, top of the cheekbone and up. Now, if you have significant crow's feet or fine lines going here, avoid this area because it will settle and highlight the lines. So maybe just keep it and pull it out a little bit, or use a highlighter that is less reflective. So I always put it up here, and I'm wearing lip gloss right now, so maybe this was a bad choice, but I always put it on the top of I use usually either a finger or the brush, and pat it a little bit on my Cupid's bow, making sure you blend to make the top lip look a little bigger. If you don't blend, it'll just look like you have a sweaty upper lip, and that's never a good look. I have learned to put highlighter on before blush. It's a layering thing. When you put I find that if you put the highlighter on first and then the blush is on top, so highlighter and then blush, it makes it look like the highlighter is coming out from behind your blush and kind of giving you that luminous glow. It doesn't mean if you put on highlighter last, you're doing it wrong. I just like how it kind of blends everything in together. So bronzer, highlighter, and then the blush ties in and kind of layers a little bit over the highlighter and a little bit over the bronzer and kind of blends it all together. And I will show you. So I'll walk you through the brushes. I've introduced you to my Wayne Goss O2. This is the one I reach for more often than anything else. My second favorite is a stiff fan brush. Reason being stiff, this one is from Sigma. It's a strobing fan brush, F42. I'll list everything in the description box. If it's floppy, it'll end up all over your face. It'll just throw the powder everywhere and you will be a disco ball, and that's not good either. So if you do a fan brush, you can very precisely put it where you want, and when it's stiff, it stays where you put it. Another one that I like when I am dealing with a powder that's a little drier, but I still think it's a great highlighter, is a small, stiffer, not too stiff, but stiffer duo fiber brush. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's still around online at Target anyway. I don't know if it's still in stores. And this is from Sonia Kashuk. It's their small duo fiber brush. And again, just brush it right on the top of the cheekbones and a little bit on the lips, and I am good to go. So let me show you my favorite highlighters because we've been talking long enough, and then I will slap it on for you. So starting from most subtle to least subtle, the Essence Pure Nude, and I'm not gonna swatch all of these because some of these are just, you're not gonna see it, but the Essence Pure Nude is a little dark for me. It's like a your skin, but a little bit darker on me option. And I think you can see it there. See, you can see it has a little bit of an orangeness to it. So in fair skin tones, it's a little too dark. I know there's one that just came out from another brand in the drugstore range that is very similar to this concept. I will list that in the, I think it's from Catrice. I will list it. But this is a nice everyday kind of wearable highlight. My favorite subtle highlight, there's new packaging. Mine is old. It's from Quan. It's the Celestial Powder in Candlelit. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know how much I love this one. Look at that. It's just that perfect golden champagne shade. And it's not, see, you can barely see it, especially with the sun hitting it. You should see it better than that. It's just kind of like your skin, but a little bit better, a little bit of a subtle glow. Really hard to overdo it. So I really, really, really like the Quan Celestial. And there are a few other shades, but the Candlelit one for me, again, it's like you're lit with a candle. That makes it sound like you're on fire. You know, that candlelight, beautiful diffused glow. It's lovely. Another one that is a little more subtle, and it's a classic. It's from MAC. It's one of their mineralized skin finishes, and it is in the shade Soft and Gentle. See the gleam? This one is a little harder. It's not a soft pigment, and so this, I used the dual fiber brush on this one. You can see a gleam. It is, again, a nice, more of a subtle highlight. If you wet it, I'm sure you could get it a lot more. Where is it? There it is. See, I'm in direct sun. So depending on how you hit it, you won't see it or you will. And that's what I like about a highlighter. Like, unless you're getting lit directly by sun, you just don't want to be glowing all the time. It's as the light hits you. So that's a pretty one. I also like using all of these highlighters as lid on my eyelids or in my inner corner, just another place. Another on the subtle scale, this one's from Rodeo. I've mentioned this in favorites before. I love the packaging. It's like very luxury packaging. This is leather or faux, I don't know. It's a leather-like substance. And this one is their Instaglam Compact Deluxe Illuminating Powder. And again, it basically looks like a skin tone. This is very similar to the Quan one. Very similar to the Quan one, probably even a little more subtle. So as far as keeping this on the scale of subtle to less subtle, probably I ruined that one. This is very similar to the Essence one, actually, but in a much more favorable color for my fair skin. Now we're getting into the metallic side. I don't want to say metallic, but much more of a strong highlight. A fairly new one to the collection, but really great, is from Makeup Forever. This is their Pro Light Fusion highlighter. There are two shades, a pink and a gold. This is actually the pinkier shade. This is the pinkier shade. I think it's beautiful. See how it's instantly much more metallic. A great drugstore option, not the best drugstore option, I'm saving that for last, but a great drugstore option is this one from Makeup Revolution. It's their Skin Kiss highlighter. I've been talking about this a lot, and this particular shade is Peach Kiss. There is another shade, but I feel it's much too icy. I mean, the rose gold packaging, the huge surface area to get your brush in, and then it's very creamy, nice soft touch. You would think that that pink is too much for fair skin, but I think it's gorgeous and it looks great on the lids as well. I don't think any highlighter video could be complete without this mention. It's the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder in the probably best shade they make, Champagne Pop. Look at that. I mean, if it reflects like this in the pan, odds are good it's gonna reflect pretty nicely on your face. Very soft, creamy texture. And I'm gonna swatch it right under the Skin Kiss. So very similar. It's not a dead-on dupe. The Becca is a little more bronzy. This is a little more peachy, but on the face, the effect is very similar. Of course, there are other shades in the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder range. And then I gotta tell you, my current favorite is technically drugstore. It's available at Walmart. It's online at Walmart, or you can order it directly from flowerbeauty.com. It's from the Flower Beauty line that is created by Drew Barrymore, and their Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette is ridiculous. It's under, I want to say it's like $15 maybe, and you get these 3 shades. There is a brush that comes with it. Oops, that's totally useless. But just watch. Watch how easy this is. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if you can, I mean, it's just sick how soft and creamy these are. And the gleam, the sun just went behind the clouds. And I mean, it is almost dark out, and just the gleam from these is incredible. Enough with the chit chat. It's been like 20 minutes of me talking about product without actually doing anything. Let's slap some on. I'm gonna stick with my current favorite. It's the Flower Beauty one. And the hardest part about this is picking which shade. I tend to reach for either the pink or this kind of champagne shade. I think if I was a little darker in skin tone, I'd go for the gold, but I'm gonna stick with this guy, the lighter one. Dip the brush in, tap it off because, did you see powder everywhere? And then here's the trick, you ready? If you tilt your head down, you can see the line. I mean, you can see the line. If you want to suck your cheeks in to see it better, you can do that. You don't want to go down here. That's where we're going to contour in another video. But way up on the top, you can feel it up here. Don't go under your eyeballs. That's kind of weird. Just stay right here. Start at about the middle, like right lined up with your pupil. And I'm going to look over here in this mirror. And just up we go. And I just follow, you know, if I'm being really fun, I just follow my skull. Follow the outline of your orbital bone. And there's my, isn't that pretty? And I think you can see, when I'm putting it right in the light, you can see it. When I look on you head on, it's not necessarily obvious that it's there. Then I'm gonna do a little bit in the corner, like this, on a finger, just in the inner corner of each of my eyes, just to brighten up, and you can blend with your fingers. And then a little bit on the top. Probably shouldn't have had lip gloss on first. Top of my lip. Now, blush. Again, Flower Beauty. I did not plan that. I just reached for a favorite. This is in the shade Sweet Pea. I wanted to show you with a, like, not flat on matte, but not a blush that has some highlight to it or shimmer. My favorite blush brush is not a blush brush. It's the multitask brush from Real Techniques. And I just smile and dot it right on top of the apple of the cheek and kind of blend up. So it kind of blends a little bit with that highlight. In fact, if I'm really thinking about it, when I do my highlight, I don't just leave it up like this. I do bring it down a little bit to the cheek. So now you can see I pulled the highlighter down just a little bit onto the very top of the apple of the cheek, and then I pop my blush on, and as I'm blending it, I'm kind of blending up, and I'm kind of merging the two together. Again, I'm avoiding, like when I smile and I can see those smile lines, I don't want the highlighter getting in there. So that is how I do my highlighter. I don't know if it's technically correct, but that's the way I've been doing it for a while now, and I find that it works best for me. Again, it's very limited as far as the kinds of highlighters I use and the technique. There are other ways to do it, but this is how I do it. I hope that you found this informational, educational, entertaining, hopefully not boring. And please let me know if you have any questions or comments or want to tell me about a highlighter that I need to have in my life, because there's always room in my collection for another highlighter. I'm a highlighter junkie. It's a problem, but I don't need or want rehab. I will feed that addiction. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see your comments, and I'll see you in the next video.